In this episode of The Voice of Yerevan, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign and European Affairs of Slovenia, Tanja Fajon, sits down with me. Minister Fajon is in Yerevan on an official visit with a message of peace amid Baku's recently reignited rhetoric. Her position as a leader of a relatively young EU member state, as well as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, carries more weight than it might seem at first sight. Baku is her next stop. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
What are your impressions from your visit to Armenia?
It's my first official visit to Armenia. There was a day and a half with very extensive talks. It's very valuable experience because Armenia, Slovenia, in size almost, we are same size of a country. Very much like-minded country. A lot is alike. So I have to say that I'm coming back to my hometown with quite new experience. I think we can do a lot together. And I hope I will next time come also maybe as a tourist to the country to see something more.
Armenia diversifies its foreign policy. Strategic partnerships have been recently signed with the United States, the Netherlands. What's your estimation of the stage that Armenia-Slovenia relations are at? Do you see untapped potential of upgrading relations?
Certainly, Slovenia and Armenia in the last year or two are developing much deeper cooperation. We had high-level visits. I have regular meetings on the margins of some events with the foreign minister. There were exchange of visits of the speakers of the national parliaments. So we see dynamics in our relation, positive ones. We also have a lot of potential when it comes to deepening our economic cooperation. And this is also my take from this visit, because there is an interest from Slovenian companies to invest on different sectors. We discussed the cooperation between two business agencies, Armenia and the Spirit of Slovenia. And when it comes to different sectors of cooperation, we have traditionally pharmaceuticals already present in Armenia, but then from agriculture, energy, renewables, artificial intelligence, science, space. Even we discussed about more exchange of students between the universities. So I think we did quite some good outline for the future. I think that if we sign cooperation memorandums on different sectors, that even on tourism, as I said before, it's a very good opportunity for both our countries.
From rather innocent questions, we glide smoothly to the purpose of the visit itself. The protracted or perhaps even cancelled peace agreement resting on the shelves of the Ministries of Foreign Affairs in Baku and Yerevan. Where is the process going? Is the West concerned by Aliyev's renewed threat, or will they brush off responsibility? Minister Fajon is the messenger. Among other European countries, Slovenia also welcomed the announced finalization of peace agreement between Yerevan and Baku, but Baku soon stepped back, set up false accusations of ceasefire violations. Your next visit is to Baku. What is the message you will carry on the possibility of peace or the possibility of escalation in the region?
I believe Slovenia was among first countries that really welcomed the draft agreement, the principal agreement between the two countries on peace. I think peace is truly mutual for everyone in the region, and we are strongly supportive. We also commend the work of Armenia and really very positive historic steps. I am traveling to Baku. It's my next stop, and I have good messages to deliver. This peace agreement is extremely important. Peace is beneficial for both countries, and I will call also on Azerbaijan to really sign it. Signature is now the next important step, and I wish that would be really happening in the near future. Also, timing is important. Armenia is doing some very important historic steps when it comes to the peace agreement, to peace agenda, peace crossroads. So all these are something that I think it's really important for the countries in South Caucasus to really grab the opportunity and to work close with each other.
Slovenia is also a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. What is the role of the Security Council to prevent any possibility of escalation in South Caucasus?
I had a great opportunity to discuss exactly the question of what can we do more together, even within Security Council of United Nations, to preserve and really strengthen peace in South Caucasus. With the Prime Minister yesterday I spoke, with the President I spoke during this visit, and the Foreign Minister in length. We could elaborate further within the Security Council with our partners, whether we can maybe draft some text that would reconfirm the readiness for peace. So we are willing to go down that road to discuss within the Security Council. There is always Nagorno-Karabakh formally on the agenda, but hasn't been discussed for many years. But what I want to emphasize is also the role that Armenia and Slovenia play as like-minded countries. We are small countries, but we are strongly committed to democracy, to the rule of law, to international law, the UN Charter. There is no better alternative for us. And this is also what is about the United Nations. And the role of Slovenia in the Security Council today is to be true, honest broker. The Security Council is paralyzed to some extent with all the geopolitical current challenges that we face. So I think this joint work to prevent our world order or to protect it, it's also very important.
Is the militaristic rhetoric from Baku heard by European leaders, or is it blotted out by bigger concerns like the war in Ukraine?
Look, we just held a meeting of Foreign Affairs Ministers Council in Luxembourg days ago, and we all, I would say almost without exception, supported the draft peace agreement and also call on sides to sign it. It is crucial that this is happening, so I don't want to go further than that. So I do hope that I understand from Armenia that the authorities are willing to discuss next steps on location of the signature, the date of signature. I do hope that this message is heard in Azerbaijan and that there is really interest to sign it on both sides. That will be my message of a call, and this is also the EU call to Azerbaijan to sign the agreement.
Minister Fajon's visit to Baku followed our conversation shortly. There, she expressed hope that a peace agreement will soon be signed between the sides. Slovenia and Baku have activated political dialogue, she also stated during the press conference in Baku. Is this a joint message from the EU? Timing considered, it is. Slovenia also deepens ties in the energy sectors, especially with Baku. How do you balance economic interest against your support for a young democracy like Armenia?
I believe we are balancing well. We try to balance. Of course, when it comes to economic and business cooperation, we try to build them, deepen our cooperation with both countries. Where is the interest? With the Russian aggression in Ukraine that is affecting us all, we had to diversify our energy supplies because we were in the past also heavily dependent from Russian gas and oil. So we did in the past very important contract with Algeria on the gas supplies, but also we are exploring options with Azerbaijan. But economic interest is on both sides, and the political dialogue and cooperation too. Armenia is a young democracy, has European aspirations, and we are strongly supporting European aspirations. I said during my visit to Armenia that it's a sovereign decision but we can offer our expertise, our know-how about the European aspiration, and we can encourage, and we are encouraging the Armenian authorities to continue with democratization, to continue with judiciary reform, and also all the necessary steps. We opened the dialogue on visa liberalization. We are supporting the EU mission. We are supporting the European Peace Facility. So all these are very important steps also when we speak about the European aspiration.
As you know, the Armenian government has come up with a project of communications, of unblocking communications, the Crossroad of Peace, which is inclusive, and all regional players, Europe inclusive, will benefit from it. What Baku has in mind, though, is a Zangezur corridor, an extraterritorial path that they will probably, according to expert estimation, try to slice off. What is Slovenia's stance on the unblocking of communications in the region? Which concept do you support?
Let me be very clear. What Slovenia is supporting is exactly peace crossroads. Our Prime Minister, Dr. Golob, signed a letter of support to the Prime Minister of Armenia, supporting this peace plan and also crossroads, because it's about connectivity, it's about opening borders, it's about connecting people to peoples, but also economies. So I think it's something that is a bright future, and it is of course based on a peace, on a solidarity, and on cooperation. So it's in our DNA also in Slovenia that we are promoting peace as a country. And I think this plan is exactly about giving opportunities to people in the region to work together, to cooperate, and to really build on peace.
The Armenian parliament recently passed a bill on EU membership candidacy. What is Slovenia's stance? Will you support Armenia's possible integration once they apply for it?
As I said before, it's a sovereign decision. We are supporting Slovenia, Armenia's EU aspirations. We are supporting all the tangible steps that are already happening. It is a complex process, enlargement as such. I am speaking from my own experience. It also requires unanimity when it comes to the decision to open, the accession path. So it has to be well prepared. It has to be strong commitment on both sides. I believe we are on a good path, and I would just encourage, as I said before, Armenia to continue this process of democratization, building judicial reform, and also developing on our common principles and values.
What can Armenia do for Slovenia?
I hope we will see more tourists in the future, because I think we can offer both on both sides. So we, in landscape, have quite a lot of similarities, except that Armenia lacks sea, which Slovenia has. But I think always it's good to exchange know-how, knowledge, experience coming from different regions. For example, we are both faced with hybrid attacks, cyber attacks, and we can here, I'm pretty certain, do a lot together.
Last but not least, Slovenia's path to independence has been heavily linked with war, as Armenia's path after the collapse of the USSR. What are the lessons that Slovenia has to offer Armenia in this regard?
I mean, every war takes a high price among civilians, mostly, that are affected. We had our wars with the fall apart of Yugoslavia 30 years ago, bloody wars that tore apart our families, nation. Reconciliation, it's important to build together trust, to build together our strength, and give opportunities for young generation to live in peace, in stability. And this is exactly why we are, as a country, trying to support the countries in the region to go through the reforms, fight against corruption, same as for Armenia, what I said, to really give better life to especially young generation in the region, and to always remind ourselves we have to understand the history for the reason that nothing similar happens again.
Thank you so much, Minister Fajon, for this opportunity.
Thank you.
As pacifistic statements add up, does the likelihood of peace increase? Probably not, unless the consequences of disrupting peace are tangible and accurately conveyed. Were they? This is the million-dollar question.